Since to Biafrans, according to where you are, your time now. Another morning has come. Mazichuk, thank you for always being there. Thank you for making your subject matter very critical and straight to the point. You know, at times some people may misunderstand you, but people with critical thinking knows where you are heading to. And I always appreciate your thumbnails. They are very, very important topics. Now, I want to say, you question you ask, because the time is now. There is no other time. Let me start from our government. I thank our government. They are doing well. It's 9 months. We are still baby. But we have gone further than this before the enemy struck, which by now we're supposed to be packing our baggages, and those that are still outside will be having a very good conversation with those that has already landed, preparing their own to go in the exodus as we know it will happen. Unfortunately, the enemy struck again. But I think now we have started the real new phase, because divinity has given us an answer that even a mad person cannot argue that. Even I know some people will still argue that. The truth is like a plain land or slate that everybody, even the blind, when told the story, will know the truth immediately. So on this very time that we are, I congratulate our government for keep holding all the insults, all the bullets, for keeping on. It's very important. They underrated our government, but our government make them to know that they are more than what they can ever anticipate. And I say kudos to the United States of Biafran government. Kudos to our DPM. Kudos to every Biafran, true Biafrans, honest Biafrans that stood and protected and keep protecting their mandate. Very important. That is where it starts. I watched one shot yesterday from India, the Indian people. We don't know the impact of what we are doing in this very platform. Every nation that has been marginalized in the past, they are now speaking, even when they know they cannot do anything anymore. The Indians, American nation is the Indians. It's not these Europeans that are there. It's the Indians. If you go read the history, because I'm not here to tell anybody. The Europeans that were there went there for a history. It's the bad ones they took there when they have already eliminated the Indians. This thing we are doing now has made many cultures to come up. I saw that shot yesterday. I went back to see it again to send it in the platform. I couldn't get it, but I'm going to search it. These people, we are talking about how the West came to them with their hunger and how they did every manner of bad thing that they did to them, including poisoning their water. That was where they eliminated them completely. I was shocked. I say now in Africa, they cannot poison our water, but the air and other things we know. Why am I saying this? These people came to speak because of what they saw us doing. South American countries are also rising because of what they saw Africa doing, especially the Biafrans. Now, where I said our government have a very big role now to play in action, no matter what. We have ministries, and our ministries are doing well, but especially the Ministry of Information now. Last time I spoke about two ministries. I spoke about the external and the defense. Now I want to add the Ministry of Information. Yesterday, we were with Kai Television. We are discussing normal thing. I noticed that these people brought down the video. They did it on your channel last. We are discussing normal thing. Kai was showing us the Fulanis and how they are destroying the bush. Just that. They brought out the video. Now, I want to say something. That I told you, I say, write them. Because if we keeping silence, that is where they keep doing what they are doing, no matter how much they are paid. We are in democracy and they know better. I want the United States of Biafra government, Ministry of Information. It is now time to petition YouTube, Facebook about what they are doing to Biafrans. petition them with points. If they cannot stop people that are killing us, they will not stop our mouths from saying and agitating. Very, very important. If we are government now, it is high time the Ministry of Information of United States of Biafra to write this media. Petition them, not even write, petition them. Because we are in a democracy. We are being killed. They know what is happening. They know exactly what is happening. They can give us breathing space for human rights' sake, which they know better. But if our governments don't wake up to fight for those that are speaking for the government, that is very wrong. Because I know very well in my heart of heart that if our government take this bold step to let them know that enough has to be enough in this area, they will calm down. If our government keeping quiet, time will come when they will tell us not even to be here. And it is our bona fide right to be here. And our government has to make them to understand that we are a government, and one day they will ask to come to Biafra to operate. It is very important we let them know this. Very, very important. No matter who paid them, no matter what they are receiving, no matter how they tell them, they have to let this point get inside their medulla. That we are a nation, and nobody is going to take it away from us. And one day they will ask to operate. And we are a nation of more than 80 million or 70 million people. They have to get that in their head. How many Europeans have 70 million people, countries? Our government has to wake up, and wake up very fast. That is the first action. Now, the second action is our people, you know, the Jews till tomorrow, they don't just spend their money on anybody they see. I know this before, but I knew how serious it is when one of my friends here is Ndi Nekechisi. So on our here, on our rebem, can you buy in Florida? So here on our ebe on our on is marketing. So company happened to go for trade fair na Saudi Arabia. So I did that trade fair. All Spanish company, man, I am representing. So I rode there. Ndị Jews niile bịara there, big man. Ọ na-agwa m sị m na ndị mmadụ na-eche na ha nwere ego, na ndị nwere ego bụ ndị Jews. Onye abụ onye ọ ga-abụ inye egbe ma onye ihe asị ya tinyere ha na ndị ka ha nwụọ, ọ ga-enye ha. Even since agitation anyị agawara high mụ na ya abụghịzi enyi. Ọ ka ịmara ụdị onye na-agwa gị, onye abụ onye nyere nri o mgbe ọ na-enye ya nsogbu. Onye kwere m aka mgbe m chọkwara ya ka enyi, mana ndị a. So Jechi ji ahụ wee nata. Wee kpọọ m mbịa, ọ sị m n'ihe afọ na o juru ya anya. Ọ sị m na ya nwa na onwe ya makwa, maka na a na-agwa ha ya n'ebe ha na-akpọ isi n'ala. Na ndị achọghị itinyere ha ego, maka na ndị a sị na ha na-etinye na ha were ego ha goo ha ahịa, na ha na-eji ego ahụ egoro ha ahịa je na-anụsa ha ọgụ. Ndị Igbo na-ege nụ ntị maka ihe anyị na-ekwu maka ndị ofe mmanụ ka nji ekwu this thing. Now ndị a wee bịa ego ha afịa, wee ihe bụ ọkwadoghọkwa ka ndị be ha o, marụkwa na ebe a na-eme ihe a bụ na nke ndị be ha. Ihe izizi ha na-ajụ bụ ka kọntrị isi wee bịa. Ha jụọ kọntrị isi wee bịa, ha jụọ onye ebe ebu. Ị bụrụ na isi na kọntrị bụ ebe ha na-ego ahịa, mana ịbụ onye ha si na ego ha ma mba n'aka ha mago that company ahịa. So si na mgbe ha jụrụ ha ya echeta ihe a na-agwa ha na mosque, wee tụọrọ ha asị maka na ya chọrọ ka ya ahịa ya nata ka ya retain ọrịa. Ị na-aghọta ihe na-eme na maka ọ bụ na ha ego ha ya ahịa ahụ ọ nata, a ga-achụ ya n'ọrụ, ọ ma nwa ego ọ ga-eji wee tinye na data ebe ahụ ha na-eje arụ anụmanụ. Ọ sị m ya wee sịarị ha asị bụ ya onte na ụlọ asị ọ na-asịrị mmeri nji chụpụ ya, ọ ya ka m ji gwa gị sị ndị a ha na-asịcha asị si ruo na nke ịfụrụ anya. So o wee gwacha m ihe asị di m agwabugo m ya maka obigo Saudi Arabia. So nsị so ihe a bụ eziokwu. The text ihe a o gbutoro ya maka ọ sị na ahịa ndị a goro ya kacha ahịa onye ọbụla niile goro ya, n'ahịa bụ ihe mere ya ji mara na ya nwere ya company ya ji nata company ya wee congratulate ya, mana ya gọrọ si na ya abụghị onye ebe a maka ife mama na onye ebe ahụ da-akwado ka ndị be ha. Ndị Igbo na-aghọta ihe m na-ekwu. Ofu ụzọ anyị ga-esi wee mee ihe a bụ nke anyị dị very easy, na ihe na-eme anyị bụ nzuzu. Nke anyị dị very very easy, ihe na-eme anyị bụ nzuzu. nzuzu a na-ekwu bụ na anyị nwa jiji anyị nwa ji mma, mana ndị a na-eme anyị ihe anyị na-ebe nwee ka ụmụ akwụkwọ amụpụtara ọfụrụ na-ajụ ka ezi ihe na-eme. Maka ama m mgbe that was 90s ha o nwere ihe merụ na Warri that time. Ọkịta ndị be anyị maara ihe, ndị Biafra maara na anyị niile bụ ofu. Ha wee fesie ndị Igbo wee gbachie ahịa for 2 good days. Agụụ chigbu ndị mmadụ, agụụ chigbu ndị mmadụ. Ha ncha niile pụta na-arịọ biko na ha amaghị na anyị nwa bụ ihe bụ ndị nwe obodo, na ha amaghị ha anyị biko. Ihe a bụ ụmụnna anyị now. This is one of the greatest things Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made, to make us know that we are one and speak with one voice. Now, ndị Igbo, ị nọ n'obodo oyibo ma ị n'ebe ọbụla ị nọ, mgbe onye agwacha m ihe a mbido practice wadatin, agwa m eziokwu, ebe a m nọ even nchọcha ma ọ bụrụ na onye afọ mmanụ ji ihe a njecha onye ọcha ma njecha ndị Latino ji datin ma ọ hapụ ya, because amụtara m ihe too much na datin okwu. Maka mma bịa were ego m nye gị nri iri ju afọ, were afọ ahụ iri juru bịa nụsa m ọgụ. Onye nwere uche anaghị eme ya. Anyị ga-ebido from there. This is very important. Anyị ga-ebido from there. Then our government also, ndị be anyị chọrọ ịfụ ikwefu ihe niile anyị na-ekwu. Ịma na mgbe anyị nọ na another phase, anyị bụ gọọmenti, yes. Agitation agafego, yes. Mana phase anyị nọ ka anyị ka dị nwee power. Ọ bụ na ndị agha anyị ghọtara onwe ha. But that being said, like I said in the beginning, ihe ebidogo nọziwe. Our gọọmenti anyị ga-emenarịrịrị ihe ga-egosi na ha bụ gọọmenti na obodo ahụ. Once ndị gọọmenti anyị mere ya, ụzọ ọbụla ha chọrọ iso wee mee ya, ndị nke anyị egwu na-atụ na ndị nke anyị ji ego na-ajụ ka ihe chi ga-eweta. Maka anyị, like you said, ihe ọbụla anyị nwere ya by merit. Anyị tara afụfụ ya. And even mgbe ha na-emebi ihe ndị be anyị na Lagos, anyị ma na nwa ya anyị amaghị iru ndị ahụ, mana anyị na-akwa akwa maka anyị ma ihe o tekere anyị to climb and ihe o tekere anyị to maintain where we are. Anyị ezughị ya n'oshi, anyị gbatara ya na mbọ Chukwu gọziere anyị. So all the very painful. So gọọmenti anyị now nwee ike with eziokwu niile anọ everywhere now kpokonatekwa again ka Maazị Simon Ekpa si wee kpokonata. Then ndị ekpokonatekwara nọ bụ ndị eziokwu, maka ihe na-afụ m ụfụ n'ihe gbasara ndị amị anya ma na-asị na a na-egbu ha. Let me salute them first. Let me salute the former Eastern Security before the ones they sold. Let me salute our Biafran Liberation Army. Then I salute all of you. Mande dapụrụ adapụ, mande nwụrụ anwụ. I salute all of you because ebe anyị jelu taa bụkwa unu nwa n'unu. I salute you people. Even ndị megoro ihe ọjọọ, well, anyị afụgokwe nke unu mere. Unu nwekwa ike repent nọrụ n'ebe ahụ unu nọ, like any Biafra na-abụghị onye amị, ma okwe nke unu nwere ike ime with experience unu nwere. Then the United States of Biafran Army, please, now I come to you people. Eziokwu bụ ndụ. Agha eziokwu anaghị emeri maka agha eziokwu bụ Chukwu na anya. Ọ bụrụ na ị kwere anyị na nkwa na ị ga-abịa mee ihe a, biko mee ihe ị kwere anyị na nkwa. Ihe na-ewute m ma nna anụ na ndị be anyị na ndị agha anyị na-egbu ndị agha. Ị ma na majority ndị agha anyị a na-ekwu okwu ya, na majority ha niile ha nọ n'obodo oyibo, ha si obodo ebe ha nọ. Ihe a na-abụ ha kpọ ha si achọrọ m ịna ha na-ana n'eziokwu. Majority ha bụ ndị si ebe a fụrụ ụzọ fụrụ ihe na-eme o wutere n'aba anyị ka ha jezi obodo ha ka ezi ka nwanne gị ga-esi tụwa gị obe wee gbuo gị. Ama m na enwere ndị bịara ineche anya ma ihe a, mana mgbe ọ dịwara igbu nwanne gị gbuo ya ebe o tere aka, ebe o buru ibu, o nwere ihe ndị ya na ọgbaghozi aka ka anyị wepụ n'aka na nke ahụ. Ebe anyị nọ kịta anụnwa ka anyị hapụ ịkwafu ọbara onwe anyị. O nwere ụzọ ọzọ enwere ike isi eme ya. Mmadụ nwere ike ime gị ihe, nwanne gị mee gị ihe, ọ bụgodo ebe ahụ unu nọ n'ime ọhịa, unu nwere ike kee ya. Ndị amị na-enwe nga na ndị amị na-enwe nga marụkwanụ na nsọ anyị Igbo bụ iwufe ọbara. Ihe a bụ nsọ anyị Igbo, iwusa ọbara, not to talk of ọbara nwanne gị, no matter otu o si na dị. Ndị amị na-enwe nga. ndị recruit ije di m ọ bụ onye amị bifo ya nwere onwe ya jekọtara gị ka gwa nga discipline bata mgbe ị kwesịrị ịbata o mee 1 minute late atụrụ ya ebe ahụ mana ọsọ mbọdị Chukwunna gọziri ifu gị ya. So ndị amị na-enwe nga unu na steji anọ kịta unu nwere ike inwe nga nwee ụzọ ọzọ unu nwere ike iji taa mmadụ afụfụ nwee ụzọ ọzọ unu nwere ike isi mee nwanne unu ọ marụ na ihe o mere adịghị mma then ọ dịkwa ndụ maka unu gbuo onye ahụ unu ama onye niile nwere akara aka dị iche iche ebe ahụ unu nọ o nwere onye na-eme nke ọ na-emete ọfụma onye amezi ihe ahụ ịchọghị ije gbuo ya mgbe oge ruru ihe ahụ ọ na-eme ka onye ga-emerụ gị ya ka anyị bido chewe na uche na ihe a bụ ihe na-ebuda anyị very 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 fast. Ndị amị anyị biko nweenụ nga unu ewezi n'ọbara nwanne unu so that unu nwee ike ka Chukwu obi ma na ekpere anyị na-ekpere unu nwee ike na-arụ ọrụ biko nụ. Then ndị be anyị nọ na Lezon Lagos ana m ewelikwa aka unu ebe unu nọ ana m ekenekwa unu too much maka na mgbe Maazị Nnamdi Kanu na Maazị Simon Ekpa na-ekwu ihe a na-ekwu ndị Lagos anaghị ege ntị ha dịka ha amaghị ihe na-eme mana mgbe ọ bịaziri hit we ha tetekwara n'ụra nke bụ eziokwu maka ịbịa na fundraising mbịa na-anụ Lagos Lezon na-anụ this side na-anụ this side na-anụ this side na-anụ this side ha nịcha Lagos Lezon obi jikwa m na-aṅụrị ndị ka nọ there ndị nke ji ezigbote ego ndị nke na-abatabeghị ọ bụghị iwu na a ga-akpọ afa gị ọ bụghị iwu na a ga-ama onye bụ ị nwere ike dee afa gị ama mma onye bụ idowe ya iwere risiti gị dowe ya ị nwere ike were afọ ọzọ dee na da risiti ma ọ bụ na okwe gị idowe ya mgbe Biafra bịara iweta da risiti ipirite idowe ya ọfụma iweta da risiti bịakwute gọọmenti anyị si na ihe a bụ ihe m merụ mgbe a na-achọ ọchịchị ihe a bụ ihe mere mana achọghị m ka afa m pụta o nwere ụzọ dị iche iche ị nwere ike isi wee tinye ego ndị ụlọ akụ ama na itinyere ego. So biko ndị be anyị nọ na Lagos ndị be anyị ji ezigbote ego nọ na Nnewi ndị be anyị ji ezigbote ego nọ na Aba ndị be anyị ji ezigbote ego nọ na United States nọ na mba ụwa dị iche iche maka ndị Igbo nwere ego jirinụ maka ụmụazị ndị na-achọ nri ụmụazị egbugoro nne ha na nna ha ụmụazị onwe kọmpandị ga-abịa nkịta onwezi onye ọ bụ sọsọ ụmụazị jiri maka ndị dị otu a wepụta na ego na ka eme ihe a ka obi ka unu gwa Chukwu na akụ o nyere unu na ngọzi ọ gọziri unu ihe a bụ ihe unu ji amepụta Chukwu na ya anya o mere unu ebere mere unu na ebere even mgbe anwụ bichere here very important oge erugo bịa support ọnụ dis gọọmenti otu ọbụla unu maara ọ bụ na ị ga-ewepụtanwu otu nde eje na ije nye anyị otu narị ịma na ị ga-ewepụtanwu otu nde o nwere ihe ọ bụ gị ka ndị Igbo nwere ego nọ iwepụta otu nde nwere ihe ọ bụrụ gị wepụtara anyị otu nde dowe akwụkwọ gị o nwere ihe ọ bụ o ruo oge ahụ obodo nọzie akpọrọ unu oriri gosi ihe unu si na unu so na ndị merụ ihe a ji ọ bụchaghị ihe ọgaranya chọrọ ọgaranya chọghị gị nye ya nri maka nri o jiri bịa ihe ọgaranya chọrọ bụ ka inye ya ugwu ruru ya ka igosi aha ya ka igosi iru ya ka isi na o so na ndị jenitelu anyị ga-emerụ unu ya biko na anyị ga-emerụ unu ya oge erugo onye ọbụla na ime ịbụrụ onye Igbo ị naghị eso ihe a na-eme bido gewe ihe na-eme so that ka ị hapụ ị na-eso ụfọdụ ụmụ be anyị ụmụazị nwụchara nwa sachara isi ji ihe ama na a na-eme na Facebook bụ ihe ọbụla ikwuru ebe ha kwụ ọgụgwọ ha pụtara ịbịa nara ego ịhaji ebe a na-ekwugheri ihe ọbụla jeenu jee chọọ ọnụ channels chọọ ọnụ ebe unu ga-ama exactly unu ga-ajụ ajụjụ ihe emewe fundraising batanụ jụọ na ajụjụ jeenu na webụsaịtị enwere webụsaịtị jụọ na ajụjụ na a dị nke etinyegokwe box of inquiry and the solution na webụsaịtị jụọ na ajụjụ mgbe anyị na-ajụ ajụjụ nye nweta asa gị nke ịmakwana ị ga-eme n'ime asa ahụ ị nwetara ị na-eme ya ọ bụghị ịjụ ajụjụ ịnweta asa ị na-azụ ịjụ ajụjụ nwere ihe mere iji jụọ ajụjụ ịnweta asa ahụ nwere ihe mere iji nweta asa ahụ nke ihe mere na asa ahụ nwere ka ihe iji ya wee mee action everybody ọ bụ na ndị be anyị ga-aghọta onwe ha ndị a na-eme anyị ha ga-esekpuru anyị like this wee ree anyị ayọ maka echetakwa m mgbe ndị be anyị nọ na that Lagos natachara kpamkpam obodo ha nọrụ ha na even mmụọ ha afụkwụ ha na-eti natawan marụzie ọ bụ egwu sochekwa na-emeghe ihe maka ha ma na anyị na mmụọ ama ndị ebe ahụ ya afọ mmadụ and ihe ọjọọ ha mere anyị anọkwa m na mgbagharụ agwakwa m gị nke bụ eziokwu mma nchefu maka nchefu echefu ma history mma nchefu wee kpọbata onye ọ ga-abụ ma anọghị ugbo ụmụ m again. Mma nwa mee ya. So ndị be anyị bilitenụ. Our government, information minister, oge erugo mgbe ị ga-etinye anya na online ihe na-eme. Onye ọbụla bụ onye na-ekwunyeteru gọọmenti, ndị a wee gbaa ya mgba, bilite daa akwụkwọ. Onwe na-akwụrụ ụgwọ. Ihe a bụ onye ọbụla bilitere imere onwe ya. So unu na onwe unu nọkwa there bilitekwara imere onwe unu maka nke unu nwere ike imenwu. Mee na ebe ọ dị mma. Unu na-ede ihe asị ọ bụghị ide akwụkwọ petition. Unu na-eme unu na-echetara ha na anyị bụ country. Unu na-eme ha ka ha marụ ha many people anyị dị. Unu na-eme ha na-amarụ na echi dị. Unu na-eme ha na echi ahụ bịa na ha ga-achọkwute anyị. So ihe ọbụla ha na-eme, ha were ya nwayọọ na ihe anyị nọ bụ democracy. Na anyị nwa na onwe anyị na ndị na-ekwu okwu a na-respect their rules and their regulation. That they also have to respect our human rights and our dignity and our own life. Very important. Ka m kwụsịgodo ebe a. Maazị, thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you so much, my beloved sister.
Maazị Chiefs.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. You're coming. My beloved sister Ijoma, I really appreciate you on this, your very contribution. I really appreciate, even if we end the program here, you've just busted out the whole thing, and your response answered every single question I asked when I was introducing this very program. And I love the way you put it forward. And this is what I have been asking for from my fellow Biafrans. Whenever you are listening to a program that has to do with this, our freedom, listen with an open heart. It doesn't matter how angry you are. It doesn't matter how dissatisfied you are with the person that is speaking or the person you are seeing. Listen with an open heart. In the midst of all the nonsense, you must get a sense from it. We must stop the issue of following sheepishly. Always speak confidently on your own, the way you feel things have to be done. You might not, what you want to say might not please me. And you're not meant to please me. You're not meant to say it the way that is good. We all have different ways of expressing ourselves. But in the midst of it, whenever you look at things from the other side, look at it from the other side also. She has just gave a very open explanation and suggestions. Most importantly, she made some wonderful suggestions that caught my attention. One of those suggestions is practical things we will do, practical things we will implement to get results, which was one of the questions I asked. In taking responsibility, after we have taken responsibility, practical things that we must do. One of that thing that she mentioned, I remind you again, she gave example of how the Jewish people do their business. And I'm glad that she narrowed it down and spoke in a language that you will understand. Because when we talk about this, there is nobody can take it away that majority of the people who are involved today are Igbos. Majority, they are Igbos in large number. Committed. That does not take away other people that they are not with us. Other people are with us in thousands, in millions. They are with us. Other Biafrans, other ethnic group, other dialects, they are there. But a very large population, in terms of doing business, they are Igbos. And I love the way she narrowed it down in speaking in a language that you understand. Mind who you do your business with. Mind who your money gets into their hand. Be very cautious about that. Be very, very cautious about that. At least let's start from there. This is a practical thing that you can do to inflict changes. And when you begin to do it, let me tell you, there is no doubt that the economy of the zoo is in our hand. The money rotates with us. It is whom we give that we take it. It is whom we give that we take it. We can control things. We can change things. We can make things change shape. And these are practical things that we can implement. Mind the people you transact with. It is not a good idea sponsoring somebody who you know is sponsoring something against yourself. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. We should borrow leave from that very move. And she talked about the attack we are having on media. that one is something that is uncontrollable, if I am to say. Because, you know, this media network, most of them are private media networks. They are private media networks. And because they are private, they do whatever they like. They did the same thing to Mazen Nandekano. Facebook, to an extent, they stopped Mazen Nandekano from broadcasting. After trying to reduce his viewers, reduce his participation, reduce his appearance, they couldn't hold it. At the time, they banned him completely. They did the same thing with Mazen Simon Ekpa. They tried to hold him. YouTube yanked him away from YouTube and banned him from ever broadcasting. That was why Mazen Simon Ekpa went ahead to build our own network. That building our own network was still in progress. It was still in progress before he had this problem. And that is one thing we would have launched and enjoyed at this time that we are in. A place where we can express ourselves and say things that we have to say. Very, very important. She also made mention about our liberation army on the ground. Everyone that is fighting about our Biafra. That point she made is very important. Can't we look for another solution on how to settle issues instead of taking the life of a person, regardless the offense he or she have committed? Many countries in this world today have removed death penalty. Many countries, those who are not removed, are fighting to remove death penalty in anything they are doing. Can we look for another means of settling this issue? Because we have seen it. The method we're introducing is not helping us. Instead, it is destroying us, giving us bad name, and reducing our numbers. Can't we find a way of taking people you know that they have sabotaged or do one thing, create a place of detention for them, detain them for as long as you want, but preserve them? We have seen on several occasions, even during the Civil War, people who were detained, who were serving death sentence, when the war get to a state, they were released and they were introduced into the system, and they fought on behalf of Nigeria. Many countries have done it. These people can still be useful. Everybody is important and useful at every stage. This, you know, I love her own contribution because of the way she went into it to provide solutions. Practical things that we can implement. It doesn't cost money. It doesn't cost you anything. Practical things we should all key into and put in place. I just wish that every one of us can share this very video. Those who need to cut people's video, they will not cut this part. Those ones that come and hear what you will say to share, they will never cut this one and share it. They will not. This particular one, they will not cut it and share it anyway. They will pretend they didn't see it. I wish that they can cut this part and share it to go viral. I wish that every one of us here will share this video and let everybody get part of it. I bet you we can change things. We can do a lot of things. Biafra freedom is now. No more excuses. Take responsibility. That is where we are. My beloved brother Max, please go on and go ahead.
Thank you, Mazichik. Nemochi, that is something I just wanted to chip in. Look, in the military, that is where I have my own little background. In the military, there's what we call peacetime and wartime. Peacetime is when there is no war, and wartime is when you are warring. If you look at the BLA, United States of Biafra is at war with the zoo and those that are aiding and abetting them. Our people are at war, and there are things that we do in war front that attract instant execution. One of them is cowardice behavior. Let me explain. Brother Chooks, you and I, we are in the war front, and you are giving, let's say, about 120 rounds of ammunition. My own is 120. Put it together, it's 240. And we are under attack, and I'm running away and leaving you. I have automatically reduced your firepower. the enemy will overpower you. Subsequently, by you. So that alone, if I am the commander in the front there, I will catch you and instantly I will buy you. That is the law. Another one is sabotage. When you sabotage your own brother in the war front, you have automatically buy that person. The instant law there in that war front, because you are in a circumstances of war. I about you. But over at peacetime, there are offenses you get commit. A charge or trial oddly room trial. They will charge you and you undergo oddly room trial. But it is different when you are at war with your enemy. We don't allow anything that is going to expose the life of your comrade in front. You know, we call ourselves comrades. You can see the meaning of a comrade. You can see of a comrade. There are so many things we do in the war front that I don't even supposed to come and say here, unless I say it in private places. Your friend can even suggest, because he or she has been wounded in a bad way that you cannot take him. The only thing to do is to eliminate, just buy him and go. Because by the time you struggle to pick him or her, you will also fall a victim, because you will be heavier to carry him or her. These are some of the things. We have principles, and that is why we respect the people that are defending the land with their blood. But one funny thing that I have seen in this one, the proverb in Igbo land that we normally say that dimkpa nwoke lechara anya ebe ọ ga-ebido aka ọfụrụ ya ebido ya n'ikpere. Ọ bụrụ that no nwere any other particular place o nwere ike ibido that aka. Conditions make crayfish bent, and that is what we are suffering today.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. That's the point I'm waiting for.
Okay. If not, the condition makes crayfish bend. There are some certain things we will instinct. Army is another name for the military is discipline. It's discipline. You see this thing that they are foolishly doing in Nigeria. All these things that you see them do in Nigeria. When we were there serving, for the 18 years I was there, it's obey before complain. When you obey, then why are you complaining for? You have already obeyed. What are you complaining for? That is the level of and that will not stop you when your rights is being infringed on. As a man or woman in uniform, you have places that you can go in for redress. And I believe that the crude manner they are doing it in this entity that we are in today is not how the Biafran people are going to do it. Our military and the act that guides the military, apart from the national constitution, will be so good that our people will not be taken for granted. And the rights of every armed man or woman that is in Biafra army will be respected. We are still in an incubation period. If you look at us, we don't have a ground. If we have a ground like the Eritreans, they have a ground. The only thing our people, we should support our people since our declaration has been made. We are no longer under agitation. The leaders that are leading us now, the leader, Dr. Ngozi Arabeza, and her adjutants are on the level of diplomacy. That's how I see it. And whatever they do now is no longer agitation. It is diplomacy. And I sincerely hope that God will guide them to use it, meet the people that they're supposed to meet, write to the people that they're supposed to write, see the people that they're supposed to see, and speak to the people that they're supposed to speak, so that our movement and international recognition of the sovereignty of Biafra will be established, so that we will have the foundation to now do what we're doing. Most of these things that you see our people are doing there, yeah, they are putting in so much work, but I work on a also. So we don't want that. That is the only thing I will say in there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my beloved brother Maxwell. As always, today program is a bombshell, and Maxwell have thrown in the bombshell. It is always good to have people of open mind and genuinely concerned when you are discussing a topic. And Maxwell have just spoken on the military background. And that is exactly how it's supposed to be. But there is a caveat. Don't ever forget that. And he has also mentioned it. And you, your own self as a Biafran, whether you are serving in the army or wherever, or the civilians, we know today that so many things are being misinterpreted in this our journey. In this war we are fighting, so many things have been misinterpreted. That is why you cannot implement the same system of warfare in a normal military. How you should be. What Maxwell has said, exactly how you should be. Things you will do too. And we are aware that these are the routine of how things have been done. But in our situation now, there's a caveat. And that is why I strongly rejoice and support that very motion that our sister raised. And if any member of the people defending us in Biafra land, wherever you belong, whichever angle, whichever group you are in, and you are defending us, we beg that you have a rethink. We are fighting for our freedom. We still have so many things to put in place. So many things have been misinterpreted. So many things. You can imagine. Let me take, for example, the one that happened during the time of Mazen Nandikan. People's life we are taking simply because they answered a call from their brother. A call that was not meant for evil. A call that was not meant to sabotage. A call that was not against the journey that you are in. And the people that took their life know that actually these people, they didn't mean anything. They didn't mean harm. They didn't mean harm. But simply because you feel that this man is speaking, is having a different, is fighting for the same thing on a different direction, having a different ideology, a different, how do I put it? You just...
Opinion, a different opinion.
Exactly, a different opinion.
Towards the same agenda. Different opinion towards the same agenda.
And you take that innocent life. In such case, don't you think that if you don't want that voice to be heard, there's another thing to do instead of taking that life away? Because at the point in time, you might realize that you need that very person more than ever. And you might end up to find out that even his own opinion might be the one that's obtainable at that time. It is very important that we begin to take responsibility, each and every one of us as an individual. Provide solutions. Take responsibility. No more excuses. No more excuses whatsoever. We're supposed to have overgrown that stage of excuses. With the speed. And sometimes when people begin to ask and say enough is not being done, don't blame them. I don't blame anybody when they say enough is not being done. Based on the standard that have been put in place by Mazi Simon. Mazi Simon's speed was so much that even his people, cabinet members, were not able to follow him. His speed was excess that even the enemies begin to ask. At a point, they begin to say that when they were accusing him that the government was sponsoring him, they begin to ask, how does he manage to sponsor and fund these people? With only this peanut they are donating, they ended up to say that the drug baron in Asarok was giving him money to fund. Because he was in a very if in a level that is unimaginable, the achievement he made within a short space of time.
That speed was the thing that put us in where we are today with the declaration. If she didn't take that speed, we are cancelled. He saw everything and he moved like the speed of light.
Every one of us should be very, 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 very careful. Accept each other. We must take responsibility, each and every one of us. There is things you can change. In this program today, practical things that we will do have been mentioned. Practical things you can put in place. More especially this idea of minding who you put your money in his hand. Maroni na gini ya na azuko afia. Onye gini ya na azuko afia. Ose ya no unugwu osa ka ị na-eje azụ afia. Bụ na na Lagos ka ị na-eje azụ afia. Maroni ị na-enye ego gị. Maroni company gị na-enye contract. Onye ha na-enye contract n'aka. Maroni ọbụ. If you don't ask directly, ask indirectly. Ask indirectly. The only people in this planet Earth today that I see that are not concerned about self-preservation are the Igbo people. The only people that don't care about self-preservation is the Igbo people. And that is bad. That is really, really bad. We are going to have a program on self-preservation. It is high time we go back and think again. This idea of any place you go, you will see an Igbo man. Oh, they are scattered everywhere doing business. They are in charge of business. Anywhere you go. That is absolute nonsense. It is of no advantage to us. It is not. It is not. If that is the only thing we are known for, it is rubbish. It is not. It is high time we change the way we do things. It is high time we change. This one is a practical one that if all of us start, I bet you, if all of us start this today, if all of us start doing this today, within a very short space of time, I bet you, you will see people coming on their knees to beg and speak on your behalf. You don't even need to talk. The action alone, you don't need to talk. Go ahead, my beloved brother, Max.
Yes, Mazichus, to even add to what you have just said, it is just a calculated attempt to make you feel relaxed while they are dealing with you. That notion that says that anywhere you go, you don't see an evil man, that place is uninhabitable. That is absolute bunkum.
Bunkum, nonsense.
That's nonsense. When they destroyed the Biafra land, what left for them that time? What was left on their land? When they were using MiG-35, Russian-made bombers, UK tornadoes, as at that time, because UK has what they call tornadoes. They own it. I think that is their own brand, the tornadoes. The MiG-35. All the weapons that they gathered that time and they were throwing to the Biafra land, when they destroy all the infrastructure that were there, where do you want them to go to? They should stay another. How till today, the 3 R's, have they fulfilled one of it? All one quarter, 0.001% of the 3 R's that they made. Have they fulfilled any of it? Where do you want them to stay? Where do you want them to stay? If you did not bomb their places, cut off the international seaports that are supposed to serve them, channel all the airports, international, everything to Lagos, that when you want to fly to the Biafra land, you have to go to Southwest. On Southwest, you have to now go by road. And from Lagos, the time I was traveling there during my time in those days, from Lagos to East, good road will take you about 6 to 7 hours. But today, when those roads have been destroyed, abandoned because of that singular hate, they don't want the Biafran people, especially of Igbo extraction, to gain from it. They destroy the road. Today, it can take you more than 17, 20 hours from Lagos. You have not gotten to the Biafra land. So where do you want them to go? See, I want our people to understand that, you know, say I told you before, I said, if we are not careful, God can. If not that I've listened to that man of God that I always mention here, David Kilio, who has been up, you know, the man has been up in professing that Biafra is already there. Biafra is there. He said, I have seen Biafrans gone. Allow them to go, or you will blame yourself later. These are the things that the man has been saying, and there is nothing that he has ever said to my hearing that has ever failed to come to pass. God is using, he's a Biafran. He's in Ojo, Lagos. He is in Ojo. He doesn't care. He will speak it. Maybe if it is an ordinary person that is saying it now, who does not have the ointment of God or the anointing of God on him or her, they could have picked him up, because there is no time that he has not been criticizing them and telling them the reasons why they should leave the Biafra people to go their own ways. These are some of the things. If not because of what I have listened to them and what Mazin Namdekano I've heard from him before he was excommunicated from us, I would tell you that what happened to the children of Israel will happen.
Yes, welcome to Okadile, entrance into Nkwele village. Welcome to Ezenaja, a village in Oru. This is entrance.
Sorry, go on, my brother.
You see? Thank you. What happened to the children of Israel when they were busy eating burger, driving a G-Wagon, or let me just say Rolls Royce in those days, Morris Minor and the rest of them, in expensive early days automobiles, enjoying, making money, until God released Adolf Hitler. It was the gassing of the Israelis that made them to remember, hey, we have a place that we call our own, and we must go back there. Because they have made so much money. Do you know that when they return, go and check the map of Israel then and now. Go and check. We were told, I was in a platform with one Israeli lady. She's around 60 to 70 something years. She said they have to pay money to reclaim their lands. They have to buy their lands back. Unlike this in